You are looking at the famous Poplar Hill farmhouse. This house has a great history to it. It was built by James Hogg in the late 18th century. And then later on, Julian Shakespeare Carr and his wife, Nanny, would live in the house during the 1800s. And he was famous because he was a big tobacco tycoon and started Bull Durham Tobacco. And anyway, he actually studied at the University of North Carolina, and he went off to fight in the Civil War for the Confederate Army. And they lived in it for a while, and actually this house was once on the other side of the Eno River. Now it's on the south side, and as you can see, the Eno River is through those woods. So it's kind of nice how they're real close to that and to downtown Hillsboro. Anyway, it has a great history beyond that. It was said that 6 regulators were hanged in this general area where this house was moved, what the area it is on now. And they were condemned. They were condemned in this town, and then they were hanged. And also, there, of course, the Occaneechees lived on this land back in the 1700s, and many probably died. And they say that maybe, possibly, it's on Indian burial ground. And Tom Maxwell, the lead singer of the Squirrel Nut Zippers, lived here with his girlfriend Brooke. And he wrote an article saying that this house was severely haunted. And you could see people, especially a woman with a white gown, walking around the house at night, and another man dressed like the Civil War, in Civil War type of outfit. And anyway, there's different characters they would see and hear during their time living here. I think they toughed it out for about a half a year, and eventually they packed up and moved on. Anyway, they did a sort of a seance or an exorcism with salt and packed up and never looked back. And anyway, it also, another strange thing that I read was this was also nicknamed the Rape House. There was a nearby bartender that would lure young women to the house, and he drugged them, then would proceed to sexually assault them. So there's a lot of bad karma to this house. I'm sure there's some good too. But I've always thought this was a beautiful house. I've always been drawn to it. I never knew all the stories that went along with it and the karma. But I used to go there's the doctor's office over that way, across the street. You can't see it for the trees. But I always could see across, and I'd always see this house, and I always loved it. It'd be nice if we could see some of the spirits now. But anyway, James Freeland, who was really known in this town, he was the one who had this house moved over here to where it is right now. And, like I said, it's a possibility that maybe the house being on possible Indian burial grounds, the regulators being hanged here, bad karma with the sexual assaults. There's numerous things that could cause, the bad spirits or the bad karma. I don't know. I'm not a paranormal scientist in any way. I don't know a lot about it, but I do know, and I do read on the history of the town, and I wanted to bring some haunted history to you. But I hope you appreciate it, and this is it. Let me zoom on in if I can. Maybe we'll catch a glimpse of the woman with the brown hat and the white gown. It's also said, I also read there's a man with that builds invisible stairs. I don't know what that was about. Then there was another character they called Spaghetti Arms. It was like a stringy black figure in the night with long spaghetti arms. And it was actually an article on Google called We Salted Nanny. Yeah, I suggest anyone read it who likes haunted history or haunted stories. Haunted Southern Gothic stories, and that's one for you. So just check out We Salted Nanny, a Southern tale, a haunted tale, or something to that nature. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm out. Bye-bye.